so that further explains the sub, you would think. Very powerful in choke points. Remember, the trade-off for Lucio versus the Ana is you lose speed, you lose AoE healing output, but you lose the barrier most of all. And that's the easiest thing you could do. It's as long as you're not dead, you know, we were talking about the Transcendence the same way. As long as you're not dead, you can be impactful there defensively. Whereas Ana is a little bit more specific. It's, you know, it's those bio grenades and those 1 or 2 chances you have to hit them. You could just be eaten by a defense matrix, and you're wondering why did I pick the Ana. You know, it's just not as effective in those big fights in this meta.
Pushing up near into the choke already. Ina casting a ton of damage. Will get buffed back up. Stun comes through, however, and True is able to find that swing, taking down the enemy Ryan and halting this initial push already.
I guess I should also mention that Ana has the ability to flank Sleep Dart a Reinhardt to set up a Shatter. Also has the potential to have insanely single target healing. Is very, very good for Ana on something like Azaria that's in the front line trying to build ult. So there are other reasons why you would pick her. Just, no, it's the main one is the lack of the sound barrier.
Push it back in, bubbles coming through onto the Reinhardts, trying to keep them topped up. True this time, however, is going to get bashed. And Recry will come up with a kill. Now going to be looking for Choice A1, who is isolated, will be burned down. Cleston popped out of the mech. It seems like Meta Athena might have just punched their ticket here onto A to get this cap. Selly will be sustained just a little bit longer as Shine desperately tries to keep him alive, but he himself will be killed as Apache finds a triple kill.
Apache, man, this guy best in Yachting career right now, I think hands down. I think the big problem for Panthera is they got run over because they just didn't have a Lucio to match the speed at which Meta Athena could approach them. And as you can see, Name doesn't get that much ult charge. Like, he's up against 2 support ultimates on the other side. Shine finishes his, that's how Ana works, but it hurts really bad when you just get run over like that by the speed boost. They've got the rally now. They could look for a double cap. It's absolutely possible, especially with no barrier. Only the nano.
Tom Surge going to be coming down, bomb into the front. They're looking to hold that shield up. Seems like they will be able to do so. Now going to bust it down. Cast does retreat. His innovation did go ahead and take himself out of the fight. So rally used by KongDoo there. Keep the armor on everybody. Nano going to be gone. Seems like Shine's still going to be sticking through with this Ana, however.
Yeah, I mean, he can easily rebuild the Nano Boost, one of the fastest building support ultimates in the game, so he's all right, but would have loved to hold it. Meta Athena doesn't use really anything except the rally, so they're going to go for a low ground approach now. Try to bait this Transcendence out. That would be ideal.
The opportunity, Shatter coming down. Oh no, True losing out on this game of chicken, but now it's just going to be traded back as Inacast drops the Shatter into the opposing Ryan's barrier. Transcendence out, who manages to find one, but with the faster respawns, with Innovation getting picked off, it'll just have to be an abandon on the push here from Meta Athena.
Yeah, that was really well timed. The answering Agatha Transcendence there. Just making sure that that wasn't going to be a big combo. If they had been able to stagger the ultimates, like had the Shatter hit, then different story, but they had to use the grab right afterwards because it did not, and then the answering Transcendence shuts it down. Meta Athena going to look for kind of an eco push with this one, you have to imagine. They just do not have the tools to get the capture. They're going to take the high ground. Well, perhaps not. Actually, medium here. Nope, they're going to flank Lahoon.
Going up, sound barrier in for Meta Athena as they look to get in onto the point. Inacast finds a nice pin, takes down True. Cleston falling down below half. Has that self-destruct to make his way back into the mech. And will have to invest if he gets burned out. Makes his way back around the corner over towards the spawn. Barrier up, no one going to get picked off. Athena's still trying to play forward, but Agatha comes up with the kill this time. Incast will get taken down. Meta Athena again trying to retreat. It's going to Panthera, just look for any stagger kills they could possibly find. It's going to be Innovation this time.
Yep, he, you know, usually the Zarya is the last one because they want to get as much ult charge as possible. That's why they committed the barrier. They wanted to see, can he get enough ult charge with the sound barrier to then get a grab, and then we win the fight there that way with the Transcendence we've already built. Risky play from Named does not actually work out for them, but they've got a massive time bank, so you can afford to take risks like that and commit those sound barriers. So they're just looking for the choke here for the grab. Probably going to see that Hoon flank yet again. That means he's got a great grab opportunity.
Coming down, building up, sleep into shot there from Agatha, and Inocast falls again.
Wow, doesn't even need to use it. This is really nice for KongDoo Panthera.
These pickoffs are just insane right now. Just find one and then the whole thing falls apart.
It's so frustrating too as the attacker against a grab like this that's set up because Hoon has to take the other approach, but even then, like, then you're vulnerable to the grab, So everything falls apart. Ryan just being a little bit disconnected there.
Oh, okay, grab from above. Selly locking him in. Great placement coming through. Bomb going to be a little bit later on the backhand. Barrier up, but Hoon's still going to be taken down as he gets popped out of that mech. KongDoo Panthera again going to be fishing here as these right clicks come down. Selly takes a decent little tag, however, so will retreat.
Yep. It's the mark of a good Zarya player who always chases after a pick like that, because the Zarya will never die, barring something crazy happening. The Zarya will never die on the chase like that. It's super safe.
You haven't seen the Zaryas on my team, man.
But the Zarya is safe, right? Has the self-bubble, has the large health pool, so you can chase, you can get that energy.
All right, well, all-out chaos breaking out here onto the high ground. Bomb from Hoon! Gonna be coming up with 3. Shine, Selly, and True say sayonara. Get taken down. Apache comes up with another one as Choice A1 will get picked off. KongDoo Panthera should be able to tag back in onto this point to keep it contested. Try to drain down that time bank, but things are looking pretty good as they literally explode forward here onto the point. True gonna make his way in. Bubble coming down. He'll drop in, has the shatter up, looking for an opportunity, but completely whips it. Doesn't find anybody. Weston swaps over here onto the Wrecking Ball, and Apache gets picked off.
They can
with
stabilize.
That Transcendence, they actually might be able to turn this one around as all of Meta Athena have split up and rotated off the point. Sound barrier out from Named, however, as they try to regain control. Weston just going to be zipping around here like a mad hamster. They managed to find Intercast, and that will be the retreat call coming up from Meta Athena. They burn their way up to 92.2%, but now Recry is going to be taken down, and everybody else is out. They still can make this happen, but the time bank has been drained down considerably already.
It's another questionable sound barrier for Named. I mean, we've really talked about this guy's mechanical skill a ton, but we haven't really talked about his decision making, and it's been a little bit off tonight. You know, that barrier there at the end, when everyone's split in 4 different directions, was never going to hit anyone, or basically never going to hit everyone, never going to be efficient enough to get the flip. Now they don't have it when they have the grab available. Feels so frustrating right now for Meta Athena.
Shatter going to be coming down. Locks up 2. Transcendence is in from Apache, keeping everybody else alive, but the pin comes in and Recry will fall. Make their way back here over to the side. They know that they have to go for basically one final push. The gas taken down in the end. Harder to stagger a Rhine, so we'll just go ahead and finish them off.
Yeah, and that was such a really good bio grenade from Shine to hit everyone during the Transcendence. Apache's going to follow suit and go with the Ana here, actually, after that Transcendence did not work out, knowing that the potential for building a support ultimate with only 40 seconds left is much higher with the Ana. And they can have some counter plays there. He can use the grab into the bio grenade. Let's see if that actually goes off. That's a great way to win a fight and get that final tick.
Rally going to be out. Recry trying to open things up. Graviton Surge going to get pinned in. Locks him in. Bomb's going to be thrown down. Finally pick off the Transcendences there from Agathon. Keeps everybody topped up. Nobody dead on either side yet. Sally getting tagged up just a bit, but meanwhile back over on the point. Hoon gets locked down, taken out of the mech off the back of the shatter from True. Now Intercast gonna be burned down. There's 10 seconds remaining. Meta Athena have to be all in on this push. They're already down 1.5 members, now 2. As Recry falls, Name's gonna be dead. Hoon's still spamming away with the pistol, trying to make his way back into that mech, but not gonna happen fast enough. Nobody can tag in, and KongDoo will be able to hold this off.
The bio grenade was good into the grab, but there was no follow-up damage. And they put all the eggs in that grab right there. It was very risky. We saw Innovation drop it right next to the defense matrix. It was nearly eaten. But he does get it off, and it doesn't matter in the end. But even without completion here, even with some of the ult advantages they had, remember the strength of Meta Athena is not in offense, but in defense, as we just saw on Hollywood, excuse me. So, you know, again, they could look for a strong A hold, weaken that time bank to get that hold on B. Absolutely viable here for Meta Athena. You don't feel too bad about the failed completion when you know that your greatest strength is shutting down those pushes. So let's see, as we head into this, if they're going to run a standard comp or if they want to change it up. Run that Sombra Pharah or run the Doomfist that KongDoo Panthera was running a lot on defense last week. Looks to be just standard here, though, out the gates. As Choice A1's gonna, use this to scout the Sombra that you see now on screen. He could attempt to do a Doomfist attack here, but it's a lot more difficult to execute than the Doomfist defense.
Yeah. It's too difficult to try to work your way in through the chokes. I mean, you have the window approach at least, but still, the turn can come through. It can burn you down. So it's probably just going to result in a pretty standard push. Selly could stick through with the Hanzo, technically, but we'll see what they want to do here. probably just going to be the Sonic Arrow out with the Sombra, make sure they're not playing forward, and then just try to see what the rest of the comp is going to be. So sprints his way up. Yep, gets caught out for a moment, pushes it back, and yeah, there you go.
All right, so mirrors
coming in.
They give no ult charge, obviously, with the Sombra Scout. So just going to look for some ult charge here, trading at the front of the gate. Meta Athena just going to play save.
Hardcore coming through with a speed boost. Inicas getting focused down. Ball's well below half, but seems like he will be sustained for the moment, but have not been able to trade anything back, so KongDoo Panthera now have the inside track and go straight up the main here in onto the point. Through the shield up, Toisewan finds the opening kill onto Recry. Fire Strike comes in, swinging away, and Inicas will fall under the pressure. This will be cleanup time as Kleston comes up with 2 onto the tank line of Meta Athena. Hoon still going to be alive, hovering nearby, but working his way back over towards B. So about 7 minutes on the clock that they have to hold off, deny 92.3% away from KongDoo Panthera.
Yeah, this is the worst case scenario. I mean, they really needed a better hold than that on A, and basically dying to the first push is, it doesn't get worse than that when you need that hold.
Nope. Fire Strike from Inicas, not going to be finding anything. If they can go ahead, bash him up. They're looking for it. The Shatter comes in. True. Manages to find the hit, and they take down the enemy run before the Transcendence can keep him up. Pin coming in, not going to be able to find anything. Was hoping that somebody was going to be pushing the corner, but they do not. Either way, 2 ticks nearly surrendered as the sound barrier comes down from Names.
Innovation needs that grab.
Innovation has the grab online, throws it down. Bomb in from Hoon, looking for some pickoffs, but it's not going to be able to find anything. Toisewan raises the shield and immediately turns to the side, finds the kill there on Innovation. But now, off the back of the Shatter, coming in from Inicas, they meant to find 2 traded back. Panthera still in. Sound barrier comes through this time. Shine catching 4. Bomb out from Kleston. Not going to find anything. Makes his way back in. Actually just pop Hoon out of that mech and then burned down by Selly. They get the kill. Swap out his Innovation has moved his way over onto the Wrecking Ball. Swinging away. Has already used that adaptive shield, but Apache managed to come up with a very crucial pickoff here onto Selly. Burns him down. It seems like Meta Athena actually do manage to stabilize.
They do, and we will see the swaps come back through. Innovation going to go back to that Zarya. His grab in in tandem basically right after that with Inicas' Shatter is what saves them here. That 4-man Shatter he got basically alone with Named on the point. That's how the respawns could come through. They could get the Wrecking Ball out. They could buy that time. But they're going to need to buy a lot more of it. 5 minutes and 24 seconds of it, in fact.
Sentences here, spamming away. We'll go ahead and push forward here onto the choke. Playing very far forward, and that's just going to be Kleston taken down. That KongDoo should be abandoning now. Push forward from Meta, looking for any easy targets that they can work down, but will be coming up short in that regard, but either way can be happy about the hold thus far.
Yeah. Nice angle here for Apache to get free right-click damage off without being seen or hit. It's kind of impossible to counterplay that as the attacker. So nice to see him building up 26% instantaneously. But he doesn't have it ready yet.
Surge is going to be out. Sally locking him down. Comes up with a triple kill. Hoon going to be gone. 4 members erased off the face of the map. Now Inicas dead as well in onto the point. No one really going to be able to tag. The Hammond can't get there in time as they try to swap it out again. And just like that, KongDoo Panthera will come up with a victory on Hanamura.
Now, they just ended up having a more standard attack there, or rather the better standard execution of that attack. They went as a group, and they did not split the D.Va off the same way that Meta Athena failed to find success with Hoon coming in from the left side. They just kind of stayed together, went for 2 pushes where they had ultimates, and the answering ultimates were not there for Meta Athena. I mean, they were decisive, you know, they really committed to the fights. And, you know, there were a few mistakes by Name, sound barrier-wise, over these last 2 maps. I think are parts of the reasons why Panthera gets these big time banks and has these ult advantages. It's got to be patient. I mean, again, no one will ever question his mechanical skill, but sometimes in terms of the barrier timings here, whether it's the shot caller is asking for it or whether it's him just making the individual choice, it has unfortunately taken some of the resources away. I do like Shine on the Ana. That was pretty cool to see. A very interesting take on the map. I don't know if it was better per se, but it's refreshing to see in this meta because we normally saw it on this map to nano a Genji and to be able to long-range heal the Genji. So very different usage here. It's a lot riskier in a meta where just pressing Q and getting the support ultimate off is safer to actually hope to get those bio grenades off, to hope to nano and have that burst heal to save a tank, have that single target healing. So now, last legs here for Meta Athena.
Yeah, I mean, still could extend this to a, 5th map tiebreaker if they can pick up a win here.
Yeah, Dorado was their map pick against GC Busan Wave, and that's where we had named get the back cap.
Yep.
Didn't translate into a win after that, but it did, of course, give them completion at the very least, despite the fact that they had lost the team fight.
Yeah, but so did Hollywood.
True.
Then again, the defense was great on the other side, so maybe that's not the best judgment. So yeah, it could just be Dorado again from them, which still does leave up that hope that the Pharah comes in for Recry.
If I'm not mistaken, that's actually the map where he showed it for the for a moment.
Yeah, he flipped onto it for right before, and then with like 5 seconds remaining, he switched back to Brigida, and then all hope was lost in the world. Pandora's box was open. Actually, I said there's a slight amount of hope, actually. It's all of the evil in the world and hope in Pandora's box.
Yeah, it's funny because, I know there was this discussion on Reddit, right, that became quite popular about, how we feel about this meta and stuff. And I think that, as you kind of commented, right, publicly on the post itself, was for us and for a lot of fans and for even potentially Meta Athena, part of the reason why Recry is even on this roster is because of a career he built with a completely different skill set. And it is weird that this meta doesn't allow for him to play what he's best at, what he enjoys to play. And it'll change eventually, right? And the fact that they've got this great projectile and hit scan player on their team who can play both very well is a huge boon for them when that meta shift does occur, because this is not going to be the meta forever. I mean, I strongly believe that, but yeah, it is kind of just to give a little bit more of a context to that sort of thing is it does feel like, some of these players really have to just fully 180 and play a tank role, play a support role when that's not what they've started to be in Overwatch Pro Gamer 4, and the reputation is not in this role either, and yet still, Recry got through testing, right? Got on the team with his Brigida. We haven't seen anything else from him in these 2 matches yet, but that's why we keep bringing up the Pharah, though, because for us, and for the legacy that is Recry, like, we're hoping that one day at least have that opportunity to show what his origins were. Yeah. For those who don't know.
I mean, it's like, was it just yesterday? I forget. Kefri made his debut, playing in PAC. Yeah. And it would have been like Kefri coming out and then playing nothing but Brigida, and then everyone is like, when's the Widow going to come? And then it just never happens. Sure. It's a similar situation to that. But we will have some swaps coming back through Modern in for Inicast. I think that this is good. Meta Athena have not really been able to play their style. It seems like they kind of want Inicasts on a Winston, but every time True is on the Reinhardt, he has to match because the bubble's just not reliable enough to block out a Shatter, and Inicast's Reinhardt is just nowhere near as good as Modern's or True's, so they just kind of lose out in that situation. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see more of Modern throughout these series and kind of have Inicast only coming in for very niche opportunities. Sure. But then Kostos as well will be rejoining us, so Shine will be taking a seat again.
That's right, Shine just being the Ana specific. That's not a big shocker, and it's kind of a cool technique. You never want to be that player, I think, if you want to be the main player on the roster, but I think a lot of players do like to be that cool flex player. Think back to Sasha and the Pharah player from the Foxes in Apex, something like that, where you literally only play one hero on one map type. He developed his career a lot more in Contenders after that, but it's cool to see Shine, find success here, and, they know they can rely on his Ana in the future. Maybe the meta shifts again, and maybe he becomes the main healer, not the substitute, if that actually is a reality. We know his Lucio is quite good as well. We're going to find out what map we're headed to. All signs point to Dorado, you would think. And will Recry play the Pharah? Probably not. Will be Dorado. History repeats itself. I don't know if even trying to play Pharah here is the right choice. I think trying to stick with what you've been doing, look for good defensive engagements, good grabs, trying to get a full hold on A, like that's what you're really thinking as Meta Athena. Despite the fact that we'd love to see the Pharah, I think it's too much of a risk. You can win this series. If you can win Dorado, then win Control. Like, that Nepal map is not that far away. I mean, you really have to, I think, min-max this instead of taking a risk right now.
Well, had a strong performance on Route 66 from KongDoo Panthera. Let's see how they fare on Dorado. Meta Athena last time out was quite good, despite the loss. I have to put that little asterisk on there. But
well, I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, Meta Athena looked really good even though they lost.
Yeah.
And I think that's...
And then, you know, that's perfectly fine.
Everyone who's been watching Meta Athena since Apex ended is probably feeling like, well, this team is just not good anymore because of results. But this one looks to be the best one of the 3 variations we've seen, basically. So, and it's not even with Bellum players, as it turns out. You know, they took the slot, but it's actually backbone still Meta Athena.
Well, here we are. Meta Athena on the attack, who tagged up as KongDoo Panthera plays a very aggressive defense, going over to the left side rather than the right. They're changing up the corners, Wolf.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, Meta Athena taking a little bit of a slower approach here after the reset there.
Yeah, they want to swap up. They had Modern on the Winston for a moment, and they're like, okay, you know what? It's got to be the Reinhardt. Got to go for it. So Modern's going to be pushing up around the corner, trying to swing away, get some of that charge. Recry going to find Agatha. Modern able to stay alive in the meantime. As, well, True has really isolated himself into the back, and the rest of his team can get picked off. Selly managed to find a kill there on Innovation, but now it's just going to be cleanup time and a lot of distance gained for Meta Athena. So a wonderful start to Dorado thus far, as those rockets fly straight and True, and Hoon comes up with the kill on Costas right at the end.
This is kind of like a really... I'm going to make a pretty bold statement, but I think like Meta Athena wins this map again by defense, not by offense. So if they get this free push to A, they already feel like, okay, we're setting up for now. If we get a great defense, like we can win this map. So this feels fantastic right now for Meta Athena, you would say, based on their strengths.
Very solid start. Let's see if they can see it through or if things will start to unravel. Modern nearly has the Shatter online. True is not too far behind him. Away playing up. Zarya Shield's coming down. Transcendent's going to be in from Apache to start things off as they look for the fight. Shatter coming in. A little bit late here as the pin comes down. Hoon going to be focused out, nearly falls, makes his way up on the high ground, and Modern will be the one taken down. Now Apache eliminated shortly thereafter. Hoon going to be knocked out of the mech by Agatha. And it's going to be staggered out here, you would expect.
This is the perfect fight for KongDoo Panthera. Now they control the choke, where they can use that grab. You know, that Hoon popularized back in the day himself.
True's 54% for another Shatter.
Yeah, this is really good for KongDoo Panthera. You know, I may have cast or cursed at Meta Athena earlier just because they had that great position. Now they have the same amount of ults basically, but just a tough opportunity to use them going through this choke point. KongDoo gonna actually, rather than collapse here, try to take the more open fight. I think that's good for Meta Athena.
Patiently, bombs ready to go from Pleston. His way around. Graviton Surge going to be opened up. Innovation looking to lock him down. Hoon has the bomb through, looking for the pickoffs, and it's going to be 2 of them. Choice say Juan and True. Both going to be taken down now. Selly thereafter finished off by Innovation. Should be the fight here for the finish on to A as Costos will just be peeling back to get set up for B defense.
So interesting that KongDoo Panthera does not try to fight with the choke there, and instead allowed Meta Athena to get into a more wide area where Innovation was able to place that grab, and then they'd have the opening for the self-destruct. If they fought in the choke, those two things wouldn't be as possible. In fact, Innovation would be at high risk to get his grab eaten if they were fighting it in that one spot. So KongDoo Panthera, I think, with a small mistake there. Now they're going to continue to try to use this high ground control that they used on Hollywood to collapse. They are called out, though, big time.
Drop their way down, but will just be a wrap around and rejoin in with the tank line. Modern throws down a Shatter. Selly going to get locked up, falls low. Looks like he might just be able to stay alive. Dumped in the Graviton Surge, I think, but it might have been eaten by Hoon. Nice little takeaway. True goes ahead, drops his own Earth Shatter. No real follow-up to be found. They were too busy peeling back, so they can't get kills off the end of that ult. True now going to get focused down. Agatha pops out the Transcendence, keeps the Rhine topped up. Now they're going to be counter-pushing here onto the members of Meta Athena. Shatter comes out from Modern. Pin comes in. Choice A1 going to fall. Bomb in on top of the cart. Who going to be finding Agatha? Gets a knockout on Ecleston, and True is only able to find Modern with a Fire Strike. Meta Athena should be advancing here with the cart as they finish off Costos.
Very well done here by Meta Athena, calling out where KongDoo would be, knowing they'd take the high ground approach, hiding, then approaching, taking the later fight there that was better for them. Meta Athena has always been a smart team, not known for the mechanics as much as it is for their strategy, and even though this roster has changed a lot over the years, I think that still holds true here today. Very quick adaptation. Now going to try to match the high ground control here, but I don't think they'll be able to. They're going to have to jump down.
And push their way up, work their way back down here into the underpass. Modern, however, going to get picked off. True throws down the Shatter, but it's a little bit too late. The speed boost coming in from Name helps everybody zip backwards, so no one is going to get caught up by that. But At the same time, still, True not going to be too far behind Modern.
Yeah, Meta Athena there just deciding they were going to try to match the fight there, but Modern was not on the same page. He was down below, so nice collapse there by KongDoo Panthera to punish. And they do continue to control this high ground.
Yeah, Ready, Sally going to be looking for an opportunity. Drops down here on the cart, has them all caught up, throws it down, and this time manages to lock them in. Transcendence comes out from Apache, helping to keep Modern topped up. Hold down for a little bit longer. True has now surpassed him as far as charge is concerned, but Name goes forward, finds the kill. Modern gets a pin in on the choice they want, swings away, gets Costos, and KongDoo Panthera just cannot stay alive. Agatha even investing the Transcendence after losing 3 members of his squad. The rest of them will die, and the cart is just going to keep pushing forward here into B.
Incredible amount of damage coming out from Apache. 63% of another Transcendence. This should be B. Captured no matter what. As Innovation just scouts out to see if anyone is able to come and contest. The answer is no. So, you know, I was saying earlier, this team was going to struggle to get full completion, but they are 2/3 of the way there now.
Yep, was an OT push for them. Meta Athena in that first series.
Yeah, with the back cap.
See, I don't think KongDoo is going to allow them to have that happen again. I'm sure they were watching live, and if not, then the VOD would have been looked at, but Retry going to get focused down. Cleston finds that kill, denying him any more charge in for the rally, 25% away. Push out, KongDoo Panthera now going to be controlling the square here in front of B. Meta Athena, how do they break through this defense?
That's the question here. You know, I guess that the big attempt is going to have to be off of a Transcendence approach. Like, that might be the only way they can actually get in there, but that means Panthera has a massive advantage. They have this choke controlled, so let's see if that's how they try to do it.
Playing up, Grab's going to be coming down, locks them all in onto the cart. That bomb coming in, Modern flips the shield over the side, but the back comes through. He gets knocked away. It's going to be 2 picked up as Cleston finds a double. Nicely done here. Good coordination coming out of KongDoo at the final stretch of the map.
Yeah, and they burn the Transcendence as well, so...
They still have 5 ults.
Yeah, they do. But the Transcendence is the big one, you know? We were talking about trying to get on the point. Might have to just barrier blind here and hope that the shatter doesn't go off. Like, blocking that shatter is going to be the next big step. Rally, so they already have... They're going to have this armor, then the sound barrier, if used correctly.
On the side, Innovation going to be looking for an opportunity. Cleston, if he can deny this grab.
They have the answers, too, with the double support ultimates.
They're giving him no energy. He's just going to be sitting at 0 this whole time. There we go. Finally does manage to get bumped up. The shield comes back through. Graviton going to be thrown in. Locks in 2 of them. The bomb thrown down. Pin comes out. Trying to just go ahead and dislocate True, but now he answers back. The shatter from him going to be catching out multiple members. Modern dead off the bat. The sound barrier helps keep everybody else alive here for a little bit longer. And they chase and they find Innovation. Hoon gonna get knocked out of that mech. Modern just now coming back up. There's only 14 seconds remaining on the clock. It seems like this is where things are going to be halted.
This is exactly what I was talking about. If the shatter goes off, I mean, how can they hope to really take a proper fight? No named this time. He is not back capping today.
Apache taken down. Right as he was gonna get that Transcendence. Even then, don't think it would have resulted in a tag on that card. So they do get halted. They get 2 points on the board, a little bit of distance in towards C. But now we get to see if what you were prophesizing comes true. Can they get a victory here in defense and extend us into that 5th and final tiebreak?
It has to be the way it's going to be done now, you know, with no completion here. It's time to play to your strengths again. And to just really buckle down and take some good defensive fights. These are the moments where Named cannot early sound barrier. He needs to be safe about that. Apache needs to continue to be far forward. He's been successful with that. He needs to build those Transcendences early. And they need to force fights in the choke, which, you know, as we saw previously, KongDoo Panthera did not do. Allowed that completion of A from Meta Athena. So let's see, you know, what the setup will be. Apache teasing a Hammond there, but we know that that was never going to happen. So straight up normal Meta Athena defense here. Well, not the old Meta Athena defense with Hoon on the Zarya, you know, some interesting ice walls and things like that. Not quite that old school, but otherwise as standard as it gets. Shot of how far KongDoo will have to go. But I think they're going to feel great if they get A. A is going to be the biggest challenge. If you get A with a decent time bank, just trade up, hit B, then finish that map. So they're going to swap, you would think?
Modern. Yep. Doesn't quite spot him with the Sonic Arrow, but they can still probably infer that they'll be waiting right around the corner.
There's always an opportunity to get a nice charge kill here, but I don't think Athena should look for it.
Swinging away here, Modern tag up, locked down. True finds the first kill. Now advancing forward as Recry as well will get picked up. Athena. Heavy losses here as the cart continues to inch forward. They can reset and try to hold them off inside the market.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I think Outcast has had better judgment in terms of these moments, you know, overextending. Cost them big now for Modern. This card is just rolling right now. No ults to commit. Apache not even at that Transcendence yet. So it's really tough to actually commit, but they have to.
Still make a decent time. Fire Strike coming from True. Trying to build up. Modern rejoins. Does advance as far as that or Shatter percentage is concerned. Apache getting closer and closer. Might just be the clutch ultimate, but as I say that, Cluster will get popped into the mech, so Apache should feel a little bit safer to hold on to this for a little bit longer, but we'll go ahead and pop this one as they charge forward. Trying to get set up there on a True. Lock him down for the moment. Agatha now going to be getting his own Transcendence. Grab comes down. Keeps them topped up here for the moment. Now responding grab coming through. Selly locking them in, and they are going to fall. Really wishing they had that Transcendence. The sound barrier here comes out from Kostos, helps escort them forward as the cart will roll through into A. 5 minutes just about in the time bank to get to B. KongDoo Panthera looking fantastic as both tanks are going to have their ults online.
Yeah, you're so good. I mean, you're so good at pointing out, you know, this, or good to point out rather. You're good at pointing it out as well. That the support ultimates were the big thing that was missing there when they needed them. And now, like, you lost your Alamo. That was your Alamo. How are you going to hold now?
Bomb's going to be out. True flips that shield over to the side. Selly, however, still going to get clipped. But Athena will charge forward back over onto the card. They managed to find Kostos.
Okay, this is good for Meta Athena. It's not great yet, but now you can stagger these kills. You've built a lot of ult charge from this. Innovation actually probably going to get a grab off of this.
Play right here. I would love it.
So now they can control this choke point specifically. So they're still back, you know, basically back in their stronghold of A, where I talked about that, how they've had their best defenses, and it's the best place to hold on this map for a long period of time. So this is really good for Meta Athena. They saved themselves with that one decisive fight.
Left side wrap around here. Modern getting tagged up for the moment. We'll go ahead. Be healed up. The Shatter going to be coming down. Catches a lot of members on the side of KongDoo, and 2 of them will just go ahead and get dropped like flies. Kleston, that's that self-destruct, makes his way back over into the mech. It seems like he can retreat successfully back over to the spawn and keep himself alive.
A big usage, though, you know, of that self-destruct that way. It doesn't save the fight. Now Meta Athena gets another stagger.
Yeah, you're still waiting for your teammates to come back, so honestly, probably would have been best to just get picked off.
Oh, for sure. And Modern used the Shatter in the perfect spot. They're using this choke point. They are using the choke, and that makes it so much easier to get big ults off. Here's the grab at that same choke.
Grab, locking him down. Transcendence out from Agatha. Keeping him topped up here for the moment. Modern Fire Strike in, building up, getting closer to that next Shatter. Sound barrier's out, keeps them alive for a little bit longer. Modern still holding it. Transcendence now going to be out. Locks down 2. Kostos and Selly both going to get taken down. The boot back there from Dane. Perfect to just isolate that Zarya. Now True going to get taken down. Apache charges forward, gets a couple headshots in.
That was a perfect fight for Meta Athena from start to finish. Grab to force Transcendence, disengage, back off, use your support ultimates to stagger them, to not use them on top of each other. You know Kostos doesn't have Sound Barrier, he just used it previously. That was so well done by Meta Athena, that was so classic Meta Athena. Use the choke, defend, use your ults properly. Now they've got a great position again.
But also the clutch coming in, getting that Devour on the Graviton Surge, denying that one away from KongDoo, really sealed the deal for it. Now the fight coming in, the grab out, Innovation locking him down, the bomb straight in on top of him, and Hoot comes up with another triple. How many has it been today?
And this is it. This is the Meta Athena we predicted to see succeed on defense on Dorado right here in front of our very eyes. And they are going to continue to lead in ult charge. Notice Sally's still sitting only at 37 because that fight went so poorly for them. And Apache is almost to another Transcendence. Even had it gone better, even if the Shadow that's about to come up here, which is going to be tough to execute in a choke, goes off, they have the answers ready to go.
Shadow's up for True, but he needs it to be a massive one.
It is,
Slams
though.
it down. Comes up with multiple kills. Innovation going to be the first one eliminated here. Selly as well going to be falling low, nearly in exchange on those Zaryas, but now Apache going to be taken down. Can't use the Transcendence, wants to hold it. Meta Athena still in a good spot. Will have plenty of time to regroup and recontest before this cart will get close to be.
Just a little bit of overextension there by Modern, again, getting punished. But as you say, they have time to regroup. They will have those ultimates, but the rally here is going to make it tougher to execute. That extra armor, so much damage reduction here. Meta Athena going to have to make a choice. Do they want to try to fight for the choke here and let this go, or are they going to commit? They're going to commit from the high ground. They want this fight. They do not want completion of B.
Yep, they wrap their way around the back. Modern. Shatter going to be coming online right about now. Is it ready to go? Slams it down. Shield comes up. They manage to find choice A1. Going in for the pin. Not going to be able to find anybody. Actually catches Agatha while he's in Transcendence. Modern getting booped over to the side, but gets popped back up as Apache had used his own Transcendence there. Now the barrier going to be coming in, but Recry dies right before. Grab it on Surge, locking up the members of Meta Athena. They are going to be dropping one after the other. Named only able to find one as Selly dies to the boop. And KongDoo Panthera will be able to stabilize and make their way back over onto the cart. They finish off Hoon, take him out of that mech, and stagger him even if they wanted to. We'll just go ahead and kill him off, make it completion, and it's 2 minutes back on the board with 4 ultimates online.
Was, you know, great support ultimates again from Meta Athena, but KongDoo Panthera were patient. Selly waited till both were gone to toss the grab to get that completion. Nice commitment there, you know, on waiting, looking for the best opportunity. Here's the rally
forward, bomb in from the back. Hoon looking for a pickup, but not going to be able to find anyone. Kalstos just steps in behind the cart, and it is just going to be a slaughter. KongDoo Panthera looking to close things out right here, right now. Apache dead, choice they want with a double kill in the end. The cart should just about glide through. Hoon waiting in from behind, starts contesting. They flip over, they spot him out, they boop him away, and the cart will just keep rolling in. Named barely gets there. How long can he last? They have innovation as well here on the Hammond, as you say. Pops that adaptive shield. Named now gonna die. They only have Recry to rely on for heals. Trying to top Modern, up swinging away, but he gets isolated. The Transcendence just a little bit too late from Apache. Had he arrived a second sooner, they might still have a Reinhardt. They might still have a hope. Innovation drops down with a pile driver. Skirts his way into the back, but does not have the shield up. Will get taken down. Hoon's gonna get popped out. Named gonna get booped away. And there you go. KongDoo Panthera will be able to glide their way in gently to close out this series 3-1.
Very much a really decisive set of plays from KongDoo Panthera, punishing Modern for stepping over, getting greedy, trying to grab ult charge, trying to get these greedy pin kills, which he failed multiple times. If you're Enikas on the bench right now, you're probably wishing you were the one in the booth. He has had the more consistent Reinhardt so far, in my opinion, and you know, that was a weak play by Modern. But the story of Meta Athena just continues to be almost there, but not quite. They were so close to the hold there. They had that choke controlled for so long, and it's just one overextension. And things snowball away from them yet again. Try to control the high ground, fail twice. And that's the series taken from them now.
I mean, they mitigate losses a little bit further here. Getting to that game 5 and trying to get the victory obviously would have been such a great moment for them. Unfortunately, does not happen. They start off the day with a -3 because of that draw that we had seen from them on Hollywood. They come into this, they lose 1-3. So we'll be moving to a -5 at the end.
Now it's just such, I mean, I really do feel the potential for Meta Athena if they can just tighten up a few small things. I mean, this team looks really good on paper. They have a ton of mechanical skill, and I think their coordination is good as well. It's just sometimes, you know, Modern overextends or Named panics and presses that sound barrier too early. But KongDoo Panthera gets another close win here. And one against Genji, 3-2. They'll take the 3-1 tonight. Not as dominant as you would expect from the defending champion, or sorry, defending finalists of Season 2, but it's looking solid for both of these squads. Like, both these teams look really good right now. They're in Group B, the group of death, the group where everything can change, you know, as we go through this season. So it just gets more and more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot more convincing from KongDoo Panthera, but Meta Athena on the defense, it looks like where they are the most comfortable. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that well for them on Dorado. I'm just curious to see what would happen if this team stopped trying to match styles against their opponents and then went back to the thing that got Meta Athena well known, especially with the Western audience in the first place, which was innovation, trying things that were out of the ordinary Is there still room for something like that, or is that just a thing of the past? I think that they have, especially with Recry on the roster, they have a foundation where maybe they could build up and try to do something a little bit more stylistic, a little bit different from what everyone else is running, play their own game, master that, and then try to take down the opponent.